Welcome to Really Cool Stuff for the Home podcast, sponsored by HomeWorks. And now with today's show on all the ways to improve your home is your host, Denise Sanchez.
Hello, everybody. This is Denise from HomeWorks, Really Cool Stuff for the Home. And we have a treat for today. So I have a new BlueStar rep. And he has made his appearance in our store, in our BlueStar Event Center, the first time for today. And I literally kidnapped him, brought him on the way to the station. I told him, oh, by the way, I'm going to introduce you to my listening audience, my new BlueStar rep. And the reason why I'm doing that is he is someone a little special to me. He has been with me, probably 10 years or more?
I believe it's more than that. It could go back at this point 14 years ago. Okay.
So the first time I met him, he was a rep for a distributor. And what was the product that we were...
So we had AGA. That was the big item. Sharp microwave drawers, Marvell.
Yeah, that's when Sharp microwave drawers first came out too. Right. And then from there, I wasn't real crazy about that company, but I liked some of their products and I loved you. And so, I mean, in fact, I think I even told you were my favorite rep from that company, right? You really were. You were my favorite rep. But then you went to Miele, and then you became my hero because we know how much I like Miele. I'm a Miele girl, right? So, and you were with Miele for how long?
It was 9 years.
9 years. But with me in my territory, it was
14 years, I believe.
That long? You were with me?
Well, let's call it 13 years.
Okay, 13 years. Okay. Anyway, and then you left me and you went, you got a different territory. You were still in the same state. You're from Houston.
Yes.
And you were still in the same state, but they gave you a big territory, Houston. So I lost you, a little bitty old San Antonio compared to Houston.
You bet.
But I wanted to talk a little bit about you. I have a scene when you got married and you have children.
We have 3 boys now.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm going to round up. So let's see. We have a 7-year-old in this summer, turning birthday. And then we have a 6-year-old. And we just recently had a 2-year-old birthday back at the end of January. So Joseph is my oldest. Patrick is the middle guy, and then we got David, who's the new 2-year-old.
Oh, boys, your poor wife. Oh, my gosh. Because I know you're probably the biggest kid of all in that family.
Yes.
So how long have you been married now?
So let's say, you might do math better. 987
okay.
was my wedding date.
Okay.
So back in 2007.
Okay, 2007. So I've known you a long time, way before any of this stuff was taking place, right?
Yes.
So I got to see you grow into a really, really wonderful person. You were a wonderful person then too, but so now you're my new rep. I have been without a BlueStar rep. No, that's not true. I did have Nick Laminette.
Nick out of Florida has been doing a fantastic job, so shout out to him.
Yes, but because of COVID, we have never met in person. It's only been on Zoom or a phone or, texting, that sort of thing. So it's so nice to have someone now that is just for my territory. And although he did a great job, there's no complaints there, but I know that this is going to be the start of something great. So I wanted everyone to meet you and see how excited I am to have you as a rep, because when we get back to our chef events, you'll be doing chef events with me in the store where we do cooking events. That's going to be fun and always so delicious. But also, I think you're going to really do some great things in this territory. I really think you are. And you're going to be able to really, support us even better. But also, there are some new things that BlueStar has debuted, and I brought you in to talk about those because you probably know about as much about those products as I do, because I really haven't heard anything. So everybody, I'm hearing for the first time what the new products are. I had kind of an inkling, but he's going to kind of expand on it a little bit more.
Should we talk columns first?
Yes, let's talk. So they have this wonderful built-in fridge, 36 inches wide, is counter depth by 84 inches tall, all stainless steel interior, glass shelves, no plastic. But that's always been limiting. Some people wanted, other items to instead of just a bottom mount. So we're going to talk about that. So what are they offering now?
So the columns are coming, probably early June timeframe to start those build outs. So in regards to freezer and refrigeration,
Mm-hmm.
we're not quite getting into the wine columns or anything like that. But in regards to the freezer, we're looking at 18, 24, and 30. So
Okay.
we will not have a 36. And then the refrigeration column, we will have the 24 and the 30-inch column.
You think they'll ever have 36-inch columns?
Not sure at this point. We're just starting into the columns. There's a lot of BlueStar team is learning that process, but we are developing them on the inside and the outside. And what I mean by the outside, today on our bottom-out refrigerator, we can do stainless steel and we can do colors, but we cannot do the wood overlays.
Right.
So what the columns is going to allow us to do is to get into the overlay wood.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
you can hide the columns within your cabinets, flush or proud, whatever the cabinet style might be. But we can also produce them in the stainless steel to match the BlueStar range, or if you do a red or a blue color on the range, we can match that on the columns as well.
So 190 different colors, you're saying?
And custom,
Yes.
correct.
And then also, so the also plating, you can do the brass and the copper
Correct.
and all that. Okay.
Yeah, so you can match it
Perfectly.
perfectly to the hood and the range, and you can hide it away in your cabinets. So we will be very flexible there. On the inside of the freezer and the refrigerator, off the top of my head, I don't know the cubic feet and all that stuff, but from what I've read, it's going to be the largest capacity
on the
inside
market.
on the inside interior. BlueStar's building out all the BlueStars, so the feel and touch of a BlueStar with the pull-out shelves and all that good stuff. It will feel like a BlueStar column, but in the column configuration.
Right. So because I know their bottom mount is the largest capacity on the market. I mean, you can put in those full-size commercial baking sheets.
Yes.
Can you do that with the
So because we're limited to the 30-inch, I know our depth is going to be good, but versus that 36-inch, because we're not in a 36-inch column, there will be a nice glide-out shelf to fit accordingly in a 30-inch space.
I'm interested in that. Boy, that would be awesome if it could. I don't know why it couldn't, because it's an 18 by 26. It might.
And I'll know a little bit more in 2 weeks, because I will do the factory training tour in 2 weeks, mid-April.
Right.
So a little bit more hands-on there from just reading and looking at pictures at this point.
So you get to see the new factory.
I hope so, yes.
I saw the old factory. And John, when I'm talking old factory, this factory was from 1890. And I was amazed at how large this factory is. It went on for like a full block. But you'd be walking across the wood floor, these real wide planks. And because of the shrinkage, over time, you could see down to the next floor down below. Kind of scary, with those little planks. But it was amazing that they could do all that they did. I don't know how they did everything that they did, with that old factory. But it was huge. I was so amazed because it was such an old factory. I was thinking, something much smaller, but it was huge. But I understand their new factory is pretty cool.
I'll take some pictures for you.
Yes. No, we'll have another podcast of just in their factory. Because sometimes factories are just amazing.
They really are.
And they are. Okay, so now on the new columns, do they have the grill on top like their bottom mount does, or is it all the way smooth?
So on the custom overlay, I believe they're going to be redesigned a little bit in regards to that, because it's a different platform than our 36-inch with the grill on top.
Right,
because you
okay.
can do the overlays
Okay,
on
that's what I
the
was
wood. It's going to
wondering.
have a very different look to it on the outside, but it will be able to be dressed up with the colors or stainless accordingly.
Okay. So it's going to be more integrated.
It's a different platform.
Okay, all right. Okay, and then it's going to have water and ice inside on the freezer. Probably not on the door, because no one ever buys it.
Correct.
We rarely sell water and ice on a built-in freezer. It's very, very rare. Okay, so that takes care of the columns. That's a big deal for BlueStar.
Huge.
When you figure that for over 100 years, they only did ranges and ovens, right? And cooktops. And then for them to get into building a fridge, and they did a great job of it. I mean, it's just, when people open that door, it's like, whoa. And we'll show pictures of the new columns, on the video podcast. So people, I know that you can hook me up.
Right.
That. And then now there's also, I don't know how to think about this one. I know that they're coming out with some different ranges, and you're going to have to convince me that this was the best way to go, because
Now, Denise, if I knew I was coming first, I would have pulled out my laptop and showed you a video.
Okay, yeah.
But I
Well,
was
when we
shortly kidnapped in a fun way.
But you know what? Maybe we could put a video online to show everybody. Yes. Okay, so that's a promise. We'll do that. And then
a quick story first.
Okay, all right.
When I first told some of my dealers in Houston that about BlueStar dual fuel range coming, they gave me the same resistance at first. Because of the BlueStar story and everything that BlueStar does very, very well.
Yeah.
I then showed the video, and it was a conversation changer.
Really?
So we'll wait for the video.
Okay.
But in short, dual fuel allows us to get our net bigger, I'm going to say, right? Because there's a specific audience that is okay with an all-gas range. From a cooking performance standpoint, whether we're talking to them about the open burner concept or driving a color into the kitchen, we do that very, very well. The dual fuel range with the net getting bigger allows us to get in those kitchens where maybe somebody, a specifier or a client, is just not going to do an all-gas range. By offering the dual fuel, we're able to participate in those sales where we weren't able to before. When we break down that range from the press release that I read, from the videos that I've watched and some of the pictures, if we look at the new burner, it almost looks like the same star burner of BlueStar, but it's sealed on the bottom. So I'll have some questions during my factory training tour of how they make those things work, but it's pretty impressive. So the flames are going to come up just like an open burner. It's sealed on the bottom, so it's going to be easy to clean around that as well. But the performance is going to be like the top rated range top burner on the dual fuel is 25,000 BTU, the same as our highest performance on the open burner. So we'll wait for those pictures in the video, but pretty cool with that. There's some features going into the new oven with the electric oven where it's not our current wall ovens that are electric, but a real complete engineering reconfiguration of the wall oven.
So are they going to have like electronics built in, like programs or?
Not necessarily programs from my previous life, like MasterChef or anything like that, but there are going to be some electronics that will, for example, there's going to be a pizza stone accessory in our 48-inch range to slide in, and it will work with the controls.
Oh, okay.
So there's going to, depending on what you're cooking and you're roasting something or you're baking something, the new electronics will allow you to select what you're doing. But the pizza stone, I know there might be one now, but the new one's re-engineered, and it looks very, very cool. And you can pull it out, put it back in, all that good stuff. But through the controls, and it's going to heat itself, and I will have fun cooking pizzas on it to find out all of the benefits of that.
Okay. The reason why is because I am so sold on the open burner. I am so sold. When you can put your hands, cup it around the burner, and you don't feel the heat because everything goes to that pan. It doesn't go to the side to heat up the handles and, heat up the environment. It's all the energy is used for cooking. So that's one of the things. And then because I'm so sold, I know that the oxygen and fuel exchange is so great with an open burner. So, I know that they've been talking about the dual fuel, and every time I've said something to them, they go, look, we're not going to introduce it until we have it perfected and we feel comfortable with it. So this is different than some of the seal burners they're offering at this time, it sounds
Correct.
like.
So we do have the entry-level range does have the seal burner for those that just require a seal burner. It's a different client than
there's no one to explain it, like Correct. In our store. They don't know how to differentiate between an open burner and seal burner. Explain that.
So this is a true redesign on the dual fuel. So if we go back to the cooking ability of the range top of the 48 and 36-inch range. I forgot if I mentioned that, but we're starting with two, 36 and 48, which would be the best sellers.
Right.
Think of the open burner with the gases coming straight up versus out.
Yeah, I caught that when you were saying that a while ago.
It's a whole reconfiguration of the current sealed burner market.
Okay, so when it's on low, 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 it doesn't...
We will have a constant simmer.
Okay, so it's not going to be reaching for oxygen, that sort of thing.
Yes.
Well, that sounds pretty cool. It really does. Okay, so I'm kind of stymied here. You know, I'm trying to wrap my head
around. And we'll wrap some pictures, and maybe I can come back on the next 2 episodes at some point and talk specific on columns and more specific on the new dual fuel
But I
ranges.
promise I will hook you all with that video. We'll all see that together. Okay, now, what about cleaning the range, the inside of the range?
So in the dual fuel, it will be a self-cleaning oven.
Okay. Well, that has been one of the things that customers have, asked about is self-cleaning ovens. They, and you do get that more with the electric. But on their French door ovens, of course, you don't have self-cleaning ovens with French doors because they just don't seal as well for the high heat, that you have to incinerate all that stuff to burn it off. So it does have self-cleaning.
And we will still have our own legacy stories of using full-size commercial sheet pans in the large oven, the half commercial sheet pans in the smaller oven for the 48.
Yes. Okay.
So all of those things will not change.
Yeah.
We're just getting into the dual fuel category. With a 48 and 38. Likewise, you can dress it up or down with all the color matchings that you would do like we would do normally today.
So on the top, what is the top made out of? Is it cast iron or is it black enamel? Or
I believe it looks like black enamel on the bottom where it's sealed. And then, probably a similar or different grate on top. The 48 will come with all burner and burner plus a griddle. The 36 will be all burner plus one with the 4 burner and the griddle in the middle. Okay. So we'll have 2 different range top styles, which is both the best performing ones in regards to what moves the fastest.
Yeah, that's like in my store. 48 and 36, those are my biggest movers. We sell some 60s, some 30s, but majority of it, in fact, the majority of it, I think, is 48. We sell more 48s than anything, especially in new homes. You get both ovens right there, and all your cooking is right there. It makes a lot of sense to do that. So it's got the cast iron grate, you think, and then the enamel, black enamel on the bottom. And the griddle is the fixed griddle, or is it that interchangeable griddle?
On the dual fuel, it's going to be a fixed.
Okay. All right. So it's that cold rolled steel. Yes. And that's a great griddle. I mean, it performs just like in a restaurant. It's great. So
we're getting into the category that's going to sell the most, but then we're also going to provide some of the BlueStar legacy things and all the colors that we do very, very well.
And I love the fact that they're still keeping where you can put in a commercial baking sheet. I mean, that's a big deal. You can't get a larger oven than that. In fact, you cannot get a larger tray than that. You can't buy anything. You can't even buy that in a regular Williams-Sonoma or Pottery Barn or Macy's. You have to go to a restaurant store in order to get that. They're like $12 a sheet, but that's how large they are. 18 by 26. That's huge. You can do all your Christmas cookies in one fell swoop. Boom, right there. So that's pretty cool. I like that. So what other new things are coming out that I don't know about?
Well, let's see, the not custom colors, but the prints, that's still working as well.
That's so cool. That's so cool. So if it's the right print. I've seen some pretty weird ones, but I've seen some that are just awesome looking.
So we're
that's so cool. Let's talk about that.
We're coming out with that, and I know a little bit about that, and I'll learn a little bit more in 2 weeks. But all those things and that technology of taking a print and putting it onto a range or your refrigerator.
So you could take a print of a Picasso, I understand, right? And it can be imprinted. Somehow they imprint it onto the skin of the range.
Yes.
So it would have that. That would be so cool, right?
And depending on where it's coming from, there's going to be sign-offs on who owns that and there's copyrights and all that stuff.
So you probably couldn't do the Picasso.
The most I think you can on that, but the most important thing when those things come over, it needs to be in a high res, like a truly high res, so that the print actually prints on the way that the customer expects, especially for the upgrade cost of doing that. Yeah. But the high res picture is going to be the most important.
So you could actually maybe draw something out. Yeah. You know, like an artist.
So a local artist or somebody that's an artist and
one of a
chef
kind
on the side and things like that, they will have the ability to create something special in their home.
That's so cool.
And the coolest part is that we will have the ability to do a lot of different things.
Right. So no telling.
I don't think it's going to take away from the beautiful blue range or the red ranges or things like that, but just having that ability to do those type of things, we'll see.
Yeah. That would be interesting. Yeah. I have seen some of them in like the kitchen and bath show. We call them K-Biz, where you go to see all the new things, and they had a couple of them with prints. One of them I wasn't too crazy about. The other one was like, oh, that's pretty cool. You know, that really is. You could even match your wallpaper. Wouldn't that be cool? Or maybe the outline of a tile or something that you're doing. I mean, there's just all kinds of things. Or maybe even doing like, variations of color, like a rainbow.
So like right now on our 36-inch BlueStar bottom mount,
right?
We can't do the wood overlay. But you could take the wood grain,
right,
and then match that on the bottom mount. So those things are coming. They're in the works.
Black and white zebra stripes. I like me some zebra stripes. That would be really cool.
Right. So we'll find a special home for that versus your showroom floor.
My house. I'm all into animal print, so I think that would be so cool. So what do you think about your first couple of weeks with being in BlueStar?
It's been good. It's a family-owned company, and as regional manager, I report directly to the vice president, Carol. She's
awesome.
a great background, not just with BlueStar, but in the residential business. So it's a great person to learn from. I've spoken to Nick several times, several other regional managers through BlueStar that have different backgrounds with BlueStar. So it's been fun to talk to those guys that have been doing the right things in their market.
Right.
And just in short, BlueStar made an investment in Texas, and they put 2 regional managers in Texas. So I'm basically the South Central guy, and there's another gentleman up north taking care of the Dallas-Fort Worth market. So we're excited to get started and just kind of learn from what we were good at before and learn a new brand. And the great thing is I'm able to call on the same dealers and territory. So it's I don't think I have to really introduce myself to anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than some new people that might be relatively new in the market.
Yeah. I got the call from Carol. She wanted to know about you. Said, oh, I know him. Great idea to hire him. I was so thrilled. And then when I heard that you took the job, I was so happy about that. I really was. Can't tell you.
Yeah, it's been a good I think this is my 3rd week.
Yeah.
So we started March 22nd.
And I remember, John, you coming into my showroom when you were a Miele rep, and this is true, y'all. So he came into my Miele showroom, and he was looking at the BlueStar fridge and the BlueStar range, and he even commented during the time as he was a rep, these are some great products. I like the way these look. I hear a lot of good things about them. So the seed must have been planted back then, right?
It was very nice to see some great products at HomeWorks as well, and having it displayed how a manufacturer really wants things displayed as well. So, it's been my secret favorite bottom-out refrigerator. I'm actually doing a savings account. My wife might not know about it right now for a couple new appliances in our home. Yeah. So we'll wait and see on how that goes on. Yeah. If I do the plunge on the bottom outside, it will be the French door because of space where the island is and all that good stuff. So I've been working it on the backside, but I'll have to do a little savings account moving forward here.
My customers love that fridge, the single door or the French door. But when you were speaking about the French door, it really does help. It's not just pretty to look at. There's a reason for it. So if you have kind of a tight space and you have that island that you always wanted, but you're afraid about that big door, when you have a French door, that just makes it an half.
And in my past life, I've been in situations where somebody's ordered a right or left hinge swing, and they go to install it, and they can't open it up because that island is just
right there,
an inch too close, where even if it's uncomfortable, it was actually too close. Yeah. Nobody took into the account the island, and sometimes the French door is needed. It's
Yes.
a great look.
It's a great
but
look.
sometimes it's a
Yes, a
need
necessity,
in a
yeah.
home when
Yeah.
somebody, especially if somebody's going in and putting a fantastic island.
Oh,
in the
yeah, and
kitchen.
everyone's doing the big, huge islands. I mean, you can't get a big enough island. Everyone tries to get every little inch they can for that island because we all know that that's where the gathering place is, right?
Absolutely.
So this has been really fun. It wasn't so bad, right?
Not bad at all. Very interesting with the kidnap move. It was 1 minute into the car ride. I think I found out where I was going.
Serious. I did not tell him. I just told him, get in the car. Where are we going? 5 minutes. I need 30 minutes of your time. Okay, well, what are we doing? I'll let you know. And we had a lot of customers in our showroom. So really and truly, it was very hectic. So I don't think that he caught on because it was so hectic. You know, in fact, I had to call my producer and tell him I'm running late. I had customers in my store, and I cannot leave a customer in my store. I just can't. So I called and let him know. No problem. We'll work it out. So I grabbed him, put him in the car. You want me to drive, Denise? No, I'll drive. And I got him in about a minute or two. Where are we going now? I said, we have a 30-minute podcast we're going to do.
I thought she was taking me to lunch with a local chef that has a BlueStar kitchen in town, personally. But
we can do that another day.
maybe some other
other day. But I wanted everyone to meet my new rep because I know he's going to be with us a long time. I've known him for 14, 15 years or longer.
14 years.
Yeah, 14 years or longer. And he is a lot of fun. He was already capitulating. Earlier when I had a BlueStar customer in the showroom, he was getting his feet wet and diving into and was being very, very helpful. So I appreciate that, but he's always done that. And I wanted you to get to know him and see why I'm excited that he is my new BlueStar rep. And another reason why I love BlueStar, I love the people that they hire, that they make such a good choice on who they bring on to their company. And it's not something they do quickly. They really do plan it out, and they plan the territory. Texas is going to be huge. I mean, we do a lot of BlueStar business, you know, and I know other companies do too. BlueStar is just a great go-to company. But I wanted you to meet him and see why Homeworks can make your homework better for you by offering you great products from companies like BlueStar. And they've been around since 1890, an American company. You know, I don't have a problem with selling, as you well know, other manufacturers, Germany, Italy, you know, France, whatever. But it is nice to have something that we can say is American made, American company and American made, and been around since 1890. It's amazing. So this is Homeworks. Really cool stuff for the home. Go to homeworkssa.com. Also, to see our video podcast, you know, we're everywhere on podcasts, you know, iHeartRadio, all the different ways you can get to us. But if you go to my website, you go to homeworkssa.com TV, or you can go to my website. On the top, you can link on to Homeworks SA TV and see this episode and meet other companies that we deal with, but meet my new rep and Homeworks. Cool stuff for the home. We're going to make your homework better for you.